let us talk about something that sometimes happens to me and other hikers after we have walked the Camino, the post-Camino Blues. After you're finished the Camino, you may feel a little down, empty and thoughtful. You have planned a hike over a period of time, then traveled to the trail, walked for days in a Camino bubble, reached your final destination, said goodbye to your Camino friends, and then returned home with a bag full of memories and new experience. Maybe it happens because of something you experienced during the hike, or it happens after you get home, when you face the everyday life. Sometimes it happens because you have gained insights into the life you live and start to question it. I think the reason why you decided to walk a Camino also have some influence. What was the purpose? Did you achieve the results you wanted, thought or expected? Another thing may be that you missed the friendship you found along the way, the community, the simplicity, the headspace and freedom from the otherwise stressful outside world. And maybe you also are questioning yourself, why didn't you do this earlier in your life? The contrast between life on the road and life at home can also trigger post-Camino blues. On the Camino, people are helpful and share things, even with strangers. But back home, it might not happen as often.
They're so helpful. I took my sock off because I am starting to get a blister here. And the nice woman came in front of me immediately and asked if I was okay and if I needed something.
The people around you at home may not understand what you have been through, and perhaps you yourself haven't really understood it yet. I walked around feeling so good after my Camino, but no one saw me as who I was on the inside. They thought I was the same person I was before I left. I remember when I met my boss after my Camino in 2017. I had been hiking for almost 2 months, and when I came back to work and met him, he said he wanted to know more about my trip and invited me to lunch. But after we sat down at the table, he suddenly wanted to talk about things that had happened at work before I started my hike. I was so surprised because I thought he was interested in me and my journey, and I had also left those things behind. We weren't at the same place anymore. I had changed and moved on, and he thought I was still the same. The only people who saw me as I was were my family, because they had followed me during my hike. Another thing is that on the Camino we hikers often have the same goal, Santiago de Compostela. And we are moving toward the goal day after day. We can count the kilometers, our miles if you want, the days and even the time when we reach the goal. But at home, it's not the same. Questions like, what is the purpose of my life? How did I end up here? Where am I going? How do I get there and when? Show up. My life, like many others, is often based on routines. I get up in the morning, sometimes a little too late. Make my coffee, hurry up with the breakfast so I can get to work in time, because I need the money for the bills. Then after a long day of work, I come home, tired and with less energy. The plans I had for training, activities and other things are blown away, and I end up on the couch in front of the TV.
Another thing I have faced is work-related stress. On a few occasions, I have been so negatively affected by situations at work that I have had to take sick leave. When life gives me some thorns, I try to deal with it. But sometimes life feels tough and my thoughts become dark. It's easy then to blame my life on something else or someone else, and to stop believing in that life itself will sort things out.
If only I had. If only I could. If only I. When I get into that state, I try to change my thoughts, because I have learned that it's mostly about how my thoughts have found a way to cloud my mind. I try not to believe everything I think. Instead, I try to think of something funny, because it's hard to be bitter and depressed when I think of something that makes my emotions change to joy. Fake it until you make it. If it doesn't work to think of something fun, I play music I like, often at high volume.
They tell me that I'm never gonna make it. They want me to do something that could make sense. They hate when I keep dreaming I'll be famous, but I don't give a fuck, I'ma keep chasing.
And if that doesn't work, I use what I know works. I put on my hiking shoes, and I get out into the nature and walk around among trees, bushes, and I listen to the nature. The trees talk to each other as they move in the wind. The water in the lake roars as it sweeps over the shore again and again, and the birds are singing to me. Sometimes I also look at my videos and pictures from my earlier hikes, and my memory goes back to the endless road I walked. I can feel the sun warming my skin. I hear the crunches from my shoes when I walk in the gravel. How the wind grabs my jacket, and how the joy spreads in my body when I remember meetings with hikers on the road. At an early age, I learned that I should get a job and, if possible, a family. And I did. And working in the financial sector taught me the importance of money.
Wake up every morning, make a good impression on your boss. Don't do anything that I wouldn't do. And when you're making money, make sure you don't spend it too soon. Fuck that, I'll do what I
But the more I walk the long roads, the more I realize that for me, happiness is to have freedom. To be able to move wherever I want with help of my body.
I can hear my heart beating. Pum 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 pum. It just tells me that my body is working hard to help me over these hills.
And to have good relationships and interactions with other people, and to find situations that give me energy. All this means so much more than money in abundance and a lot of material things that give me status. I have also learned that I can make choices in life and that it is actually me who can change my life. Although my life has not always been easy, I should look for what I want instead of focusing on what I don't want. I wish I had learned that earlier.
But of course, I can be wrong. I am aware about that. But isn't it better to try to live the way you want than the way you are expected to live?
The Camino has just begun when you reach your destination, and it continues within you after you return home.
So until we meet again, be kind to yourself and remember, there is always hope in life.
Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.